You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? Cappy is losing his voice because of many other reasons. In part because the tornado chasing kids. Van stinks to high heaven. So clean it, kid. Anyway, so this is part third of maybe 4 or 5 originals for a guy who bought a package. He bought a package, Cappy. What will $150 get me? It depends on the length. And I want to do an original on this because it's so funny when you are in the thick of anything that you lose all perspective. And I always like to reference, World War I, where everybody was in the trenches. They had really no idea what was going on. You had to be like a guy in the airplane to kind of figure out, make heads and tails of it. But if you are stuck in an environment, especially a toxic environment, you lose your ability to judge what is acceptable or not. What's good, what's wrong, what's right, what's immoral. And I will not say where or why, but I know a guy. And this guy, it's a tale of 2 women with him. And I knew him first when he was dating what is nothing short of a vile and evil woman. Absolutely vile and evil. And he dated her for several years. Again, stuck in the trenches. You don't know what's going on. You lose your sense. You lose your bearings. And I didn't know much about this gal, except over time, it slowly became very apparent this was an evil person. This person would not let my colleague hang out with certain people. This woman was, of course, a feminist, loved feminism more than anything else. Of course, and every standard, every not only evil but also worthless. And I do mean that. I'm not trying to slander this individual. I'm trying to describe her. She was an evil, vile woman. And she was a feminist, which is, not pejorative or anything like that. It's just what she was. And she was also worthless, a completely worthless human being. Did nothing of value. Like, let's say you're a dentist and a feminist. I'm like, well, she's a dentist, repairs teeth. That's good. You're contributing to society. This person didn't even have that. Relied on daddy, a hypocrite as well. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. Meanwhile, living off of daddy. And I don't know what happens to worthless, evil people. Like, there has to be an interesting internal, completely circular value system because I couldn't live with myself. Anyone with a conscious and the slightest bit of self-awareness couldn't live with themselves. So, I mean, the cognitive dissonance machine in this woman's brain must have been massive and nuclear powered. Because to live with yourself day in, day out, doing those evil things, yet to still think you were a valuable person, like you had any right to be here on this planet, let alone lord over other people, let alone even interact with other people, boggles my mind. But above all else, she was mean. She was mean to the point that when my colleague wished to end the relationship, it was very apparent that she was not the ego, the arrogance. I mean, all the 7 deadly sins, except for gluttony, perhaps, embodied in this one vile, disgusting human being. So when my friend wanted nothing to do with this psycho anymore, I was like, you're going to have to cover your tracks, CYA. I'm not going to go into the details, but she did definitely want to get him arrested. Absolutely. I won't say how and wonder what false trumped up charges, but he was guilty of none of them. And this is a person that he dated for several years. So now let's go to the other girl. This other girl is 180 opposite, complete opposite. She cooks, dotes. She created gifts with her own hands for my colleague. And I've seen it firsthand. And it's almost like watching a movie like, this ain't real. This is real. Oh, and the girl's pretty as well. She's not fat, not a feminist. Oh, and by the way, contributes to society. Real legit job, real legit profession. And like I said, it was almost like watching a movie. Like this, even I couldn't, like, that's real. This is happening. I think my colleague is also kind of in the same stupor a little bit, but he's obviously much more closer to it. It's like, oh yeah. Like you're so war torn and traumatized. You got this latent PTSD where you don't take anything serious. Like, oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, look at that. Oh, food. Oh, and that was another thing, a very nice thing. Both of them did for me. They made me a gift. I won't say what it was, but they made me a gift. And so I'm traveling and got time to myself and start thinking about it. And how sad is it we've come to the point that one, you boys will even tolerate mean, vile, evil, worthless, psychotic women. And then when the girl is really nice and sweet and kind, you're like, almost don't believe it, almost can't believe it. And so that's from the guy's perspective. Like, it's just like, whoa, like, wow. And I know you guys are like, well, there aren't that many good girls. I got that. But that's how far we've come. That's how far we've come, where women have essentially acted as a cartel, where it's like, well, we're not going to, like, they actually view it as giving you money, or it pains them to treat you nicely. And they have to act as a unit, a singular cartelish unit. Well, don't treat men nice, otherwise they'll be happy. Or you betray women if you'd betray the sisterhood if you make a meal. You treat the guy nice, you got him a gift. And I'm sorry, ladies, that many of you in the Western and First World have come to this warped, disgusting, mentally ill philosophy on how you should treat men. But I just looked at it and it was wonderful. It was so simple. And that is, treat men nice. Treat men nice. I know there's games and you got to play your testing and there's got to be bleep tests. And it's like, not to be too simple in the analysis, but this is one of the main reasons men make more than you, adjusting for things and stuff. And is we're literal. It's very simple. There's no trick. There's no games. I don't care how well these games served you in the past. I don't care how much of an emotional roller coaster you get. As men get older, they don't have the tolerance for this BS. They don't have the patience. And the only ones that do are the ones who are so desperate in such simps, they'll actually tolerate it. Usually don't want those guys. But just the simple concept of, hey, treat guys nice. See where that gets you. Have you girls tried that? Have you tried that recently? Have you tried to treat men nice? Have you looked into that? Because I'll tell you the honest truth. I also had a girl that was psychotic and bipolar. Well, multiple, but I dated one then, and not, pot going the kettle black. Yeah, I did date this girl for like a year and a quarter. Because I thought there was something wrong with me. I'm like, what am I doing? What's wrong? This should work on paper. And like, oh, some women are just evil. Oh, some men are too, but we're not interested in men. But after a while, I'm like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not. And after that, it's like getting immune to chicken pox or something. Like, I don't deal with that anymore. And it is shocking just what a high percentage of women out there think that this is a good strategy to treat men poorly, to attach a price to every form of affection or kindness, or the fact that even being sweet, kind, or showing affection is bad or somehow losing. And it indicates that there's a war, that the relationship should be adversarial. And this is why I wrote the Black Widowization of the Sexes. Like, man, you okay, fine. If you don't like guys, don't go out with them. But I'm just thinking, like, maybe not approach men with an us versus them attitude and mentality. I know maybe you've been conditioned to approach it that way because of your teachers and parents and the media and all that, but for experimental sake, why don't you try to be nice? Because I know your operating system might be complex and backstabby with subterfuge, and you all watch way too many soap operas and read too many books. Okay, fine. Men don't have that operating system. Men have a much simpler operating system. Be nice. And I saw it, and it was very refreshing because it was so rare. But I'll tell you this, it worked. It worked. She treated him nice. He was happy. There was food and there was kindness. She was in shape. She has a real job. There's no drama. There's no BS. The guy, he doesn't have to like work extra to support her or indulge her in the delusion that she's a strong, independent woman, as opposed to the other one, which was anything but. Like, spending time with that person was a joy. It was not a chore. It was not painful. Have you thought about that, girls? Or is this girl, do you girls want to know where she lives so you could kill her? We can't have that running around, right? The cartel would break up. She's treating guys nice. By God, she's delivering what they want. Somebody stop that crazy woman. Get her back on the plantation. Right, sisters? And it always was in the back of my mind. You're like, oh, why isn't this so simple? Why don't we just fly over it? But when you look at it, it actually is kind of sad and depressing where it's like, wow, look at that. Girl's treating that guy nice. That's interesting. Because you're too occupied with living and surviving. And it's so sad. Now, again, I wasn't alive in my grandfather's day, but I saw my grandma and how she treated my grandpa. It looked like that. My grandma loved my grandfather. She took care of him. Oh, she'd stand up for us. There was a time, the dishwasher episode. Oh, no, the laundry washer episode. I'll tell you about the laundry. You think I'm cheap. You should have met my grandpa. Dang, I know. But she was always dressed nice. And she always made him food. She was smart, too. She was very smart. And I looked. There it was. It was a movie. I didn't get to participate in the movie. I got some of the food. I was very happy. I was just like, man, how simple is this? How simple is this? Just be nice. Huh? Just be nice and look what happens. But no, I don't know what your incentives are, girls. I really don't. I don't know what your strategy was, treating men like crap and drama and chaos in games. And don't you girls dare, well, we're girls, we're different. Yeah, I guess you are. I'm not even going to argue that you should. I'm just like, well, have fun with that. Enjoy divorce rates on par with boomers. Be happy, boomers. But I'm just saying there's a plan B. You could treat guys nice. You could be sweet. You could make food. You could, I'd love to tell you what this girl did. She made him some crafts. She made him some sweet little crafts. And there wasn't maybe no nagging, no why aren't the dishes done? It was like, oh wow. She made being around her pleasant. Oh, whoa. And I'm sorry for you girls. I'm so sad. I feel so sorry for you that a lot of excuses I get from girls. Well, we're just that way. Wow, that sucks. Because I could have swore about independent-mindedness, independence. You're humans. You have choice. You have agency. Oh no, you're just a slave to this will. You're just a slave to this psychology. Like, what is that psychology? You gotta all be weapons grade bitches? Is that it? Is that your operating system? Weapons grade bitch 7.0? Or are we starting to get cute? Like with where they just give it names like Apple does. Don't they name it after animals? Weapons grade bitch, salamander. I'm sorry, ladies. Terribly sorry. You're missing out on that. Terribly sorry. I'm sorry you're so tortured. I don't know why. You keep all saying you're independent, you can do anything. Well, why don't you make the choice not to treat men like crap? I understand that choice. Oh, and by the way, I don't know what you're holding out for either, because let me tell you about girl number one, the mean, evil one. Put a little icing on the cake with the cherry and sprinkles. It's not possible, male or female, to be an evil person, to be so self-centered, hypocritical, liar, and a worthless person where you don't produce anything of value in society and be happy. Because happiness comes from other people. Purpose and reason comes from other people. I don't have time to go into it. If you want, you could take, I don't know, you could take my class on Teachable called Achieving Financial Excellence. It goes through that psychology as well. But the point is that if you are a worthless, vile, evil, mean person, nobody wants to hang out with you. No one of any value will keep you around unless people are trying to use you for some kind of ulterior, at best. Well, her living situation is horrible. Oh, by the way, she still doesn't work because work is beneath her. Yes, liberal arts. Yes, master's degree, highly educated. Still relies on both sets of parents, her parents and parents-in-law. And the living situation and the finances are so, because they have to live with the parents because neither her or her soy boy husband make any money. Unlike the two other people who are high-end professionals and lived in the real world and work real jobs. And because of all these stresses, it's starting to have a significant effect on her biophysiology, physically. And I don't think haggard is the word, but because it's not strong enough. But without going into the symptoms, she's haggard. It's over. Oh, and by the way, she's at least 38, 39, maybe 40. There's no more youth. The youth is gone. The youth is gone. And she is rapidly losing not only her looks, but her physical health. And I'm not going to piss into the hurricane. I'm not going to bang my head against the wall. I'm not going to howl at the moon. I'm not going to yell at the clouds. But that's where it ends, girls. And to show you how much I know you're committed to the cartel, you're committed to this adversarial operating system, I'm not going to try and stop you. I know you are in terminal, you're past the event horizon. I am going to say I'm going to enjoy watching this happen to all of you who decided that the best strategy for chasing men was to treat them like crap and run the operating system, weapons grade bitch, orangutan. I don't know anyone who's happy who treated women, I mean, in the relationship. I don't know anyone who's happy who's treated men miserable. I got every girl out there, everyone I know, old, young, whatever. I look at it, the girls weren't happy. The girl I dated who was psycho bipolar, not happy. Wasn't like, ooh, I got him. Ooh, I won the argument. And then they smiled. They were miserable. I know many old boomer men who are married to mean women. The women are not happy. But again, it's kind of like, I tried to stop the train. I did the Superman thing one time. I'm done. I just wanted to let you know that we know, and we're all sitting here with our popcorn, watching you all go off that cliff. Watching you instead of pull the brakes on the train, add more coal to it. And we're just going to watch you, and you're maybe not be as self-destructing as this other gal, girl number one was, but you will be miserable. You will be sad. Would have been nice if we worked together, but you made your choice. Weaponized cartel against men. Great strategy. Oppressor, patriarch, whatever. We're done. Okay, us versus them, you versus me. Okay. Yeah, get that master's degree. You go, girl. There we go. But if she's listening, which I doubt she is, but to all you other girls that thought, I'm going to treat men like crap, I'm going to be obstinate and play games and make it miserable for these people, he's happy. That girl is happy. Oh, no guarantee it's going to till death do them part or anything, but they're happy. And they're happier than you are. And they get to enjoy each other's company. And there was pleasantries and at least care. I dare not use the L word. That's been purged from society. But they like each other, care about each other. They're happy to see one another. Oh my God, there might even be some little bit of purpose and joy and meaning in life there. And she's happy. And he's in a good mood. They won. The other girl lost, is still losing, and will take that losing streak to her grave. But may not win the war, but they won this battle. My buddy won this battle. And just want to point out that ooh, I know it must gird you, or not gird, it must agitate some of you girls out there. There's that guy that's happy the girl is treating him nice. Yeah. There's a guy that's happy. It's because a girl treated him nice. Oh, well. All right. Let's go to super chats. How was my audio? Scroll up. Voices. It was almost to that. He was very smart to break out a cell phone and start recording. Yep. Clarence Gaston. $10. Hey, Cappy, are they really that mean, or is it Arrested Development? Boy, Clarence, that's a hell of a question. I don't think it's Arrested Development, because that would indicate boys and girls would be, I mean, they're adversarial, of course, the boys are girls are icky, that kind of thing. But you weren't trying to kill each other in grade school. You just didn't want to have anything to do with the girls and vice versa. I think it's programming. I really think starting with parents, certainly the mothers, and certainly the schools, and definitely college, they have given women a cancerous virus, mind virus, that those guys over there who don't have your plumbing have oppressed you. And you need to have value in yourself, and you can, ignore all the biological screaming at you. Those guys have oppressed you long enough. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's it. I also think that subscribing to an ideology that excuses your failure is a lot easier than owning your own, having responsibility and owning your life, where it's like, okay, I got to work hard to get that. I also think it's just, most humans are just pretty boring people and kind of sad and pathetic. And if you give them an us versus them, they'll, look at all the dude bros who get emotionally upset that the Vikings beat the Packers, or the Bears beat the Timberwolves, or whatever. And I don't think it's Arrested Development. I think they're indoctrinated that way. I think they're, and maybe some of that indoctrination lends itself well to some general natural things about women, like they do work in teams. There is a community, a commune of sorts, a hive mind, but I don't think they're that mean. I don't think they wanted to be that mean, but it's moot and academic. Because if any of you guys have dated a significant amount of women, you know that most of them are not nice. I'm not saying boo-hoo. No. Dated hundreds. Most weren't nice. A majority were neutral. They're professional. Because I always wanted to date a stodgy old actuary. I really wanted to date a pole. And most would just sit there and be very passive. The entertainment, like you're supposed to somehow do flips and acrobatics, and then maybe they open up a little bit. But I would say, oh gosh, how many were nice and sweet? Oh, less than 5%. Less than 5%. I know. I'll give you 10. Then I'd say 60 were just a cold fish. And then what would remain? 30? That's about right. 30 were mean or hostile. I'm even maybe say only 50 and 40% were mean or hostile. It's just kind of like, all right, this sounds like I'm being interviewed, and I'm gonna go away now. I'm just gonna go away. So I don't think it's Arrested Development. I think it was put there. The future accountant, $2. Love is not straight. The Black Blur, $5. Cappy, you stole that sweatshirt from Fashion Fit to match your new pair of Yeezys. No, not this. I also did not buy this. The girlfriend got it. I like that. I like it too because it's like having a scarf. Because it gets chilly here in Vegas at night. Sam Whiskey, $10. What type of mindset gravitates to a municipal revenue forecasting career? I guess accountant. Look here, guys. Stop taking personality tests that assess like what you're good at or what you would be good at. Just go and make what makes you money. That's it. Just find out what makes you money quickly and easily. It's going to take some trial and error, but it's going to take, like, they had me like, oh, you'd make a great soldier, judge, cop, some kind of authority figure. And not like leader, but like disciplinary, the executive branch of government. No. Okay, maybe I would have been a good cop. Would have made money. Just go make the money. Do they pay? Can you do the job? Go do it. But I guess public finance classes, I take a couple of those, see if you like it. All right, there you go. All right, questions, answers. AsselConsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.